Yo, Casey here, man, with the Coleman Cowboy. Back with a little news, some more updates, and some more things to talk about. Before I do get started, I want to, thank everybody who's going to tune in, who's going to watch this video, as I will only get better. That's the only way this is going to go. Um, some little notes, I guess we could start. I want to say, we got three Cowboys that I know of right now that's in the top 100 list. So one of those players actually is C.D. Lamb. He actually made the top 100 list for the NFL. He's number 95, I believe. So we got C.D. Lamb. We got Tyrone Smith. He made it number 92 on the list. And then you got Zach Martin, of course, who actually made it at 68 on the list. So that's some cool things to note in. Speaking of C.D. Lamb, one of the updates is he is one of the ones that has an injury, a recent injury. I'm hearing that it's minor, but he has a foot / ankle injury. I'm hearing more about the foot. I've been told that he cut it or there's some cut going on. That's what I'm hearing. Uh, but as far as that goes, the Cowboys basically related to being non-concerning, not a problem. He did not practice today. Today was the Cowboys' joint practice with the Chargers, and he did not practice with them today. And I do got some notes on that practice and how that joint practice went down. A couple things I wanted to hit on. We got some cuts that were made by the Cowboys. So we ended up cutting cornerback Kyron Brown, Ian Birding, the tight end, Ryan Nall, fullback, uh, Ty, the receiver, and Austin Falua. I think that's how you say his last name, which is a D lineman. So for me, the most surprising cut was probably Ryan Nall, which is somebody we drafted. He's a fullback, and I remember when we drafted him, he was the guy. He had a string where he was pulling a truck. So I actually had high hopes, high plans for him, but we got to get the roster down, and I think those were just cuts to get the roster down to the 81 man right now that we need. So those were the five cuts that we did away with. Outside of that, other injuries on Tyron. Tyron did kind of injure himself a little bit during the Broncos game, but he practiced today. So he did have a practice today. He did join with the joint practice with the Chargers. So it is what it is. Little fun facts on Tyrone Smith, man, or Tyron Smith. Uh, I get more worried as the years go on about his injury status. He's a legend. He's a beast in the game at tackle. But the injuries, man, it's pretty harsh. I know in 2021 he missed 6 games. 2020 he missed 14 games. 2019 3, 2018 3, 2017 and 2016 3 games as well was missed. So that's my biggest focus, and I'll get more into that when I speak on this joint practice. So with the joint practice, I just feel like we got some things to worry about with our offense, if that's the like smooth way to put it. Our line did do better today. The O line they did better in run blocking. Not so much did I see improvements or things that I liked it with the pass blocking, but run blocking they did pretty good. They moved some defenders around. Zeke had a couple of opening holes. It was good as far as that goes in practice. I do know who was that? Deshaun Wright had an interception today, so that's good. Outside of that, our D line did really well. So our D line is looking real powerful. As y'all may know, Michael Parsons had a great practice, unstoppable. They could not stop him. So that's another good thing with the receivers because CeeDee Lamb has a slight injury right now. He did not practice, so he didn't practice today with the joint practice with the Chargers, which kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, you kind of go, hey, well, that gives our all these rookie receivers and these unproven receivers more reps, more chances to prove themselves. So I know Houston did good. He got a little touchdown today. Yeah, Parsons good. Man, welcome to the chat, Jay. Parsons is really good, man. He did. I mean, there's nothing I could see in that joint practice where I said, "Oh, dang, Parsons!" Like, dude was just unstoppable. And so at this point, it's kind of guys with preseason, don't even worry about some of your starters, especially starters like Michael Parsons, and you're not going to see him I'm gonna be honest with you. We're not gonna see Parsons in none of these preseason games. It's the Cowboys. We don't win preseason games for a reason. We're just not a preseason team. We're gonna look at everybody that ain't gonna really play. So with that being said, Antonio Brown. This is a major topic that keeps coming up. Antonio Brown. People want to know about what's going on with Antonio Brown. Well, here's a stilo on that. So basically, the rumors are spreading more again. They reappeared because just recently, uh, Antonio went on to TMZ and he basically stated that he wanted to go to the Cowboys and he told Jerry to give him a call. My thing with it is, I know some people want him to come, some people don't. I don't really care to see AB over here because he's kind of he's a distraction for the team. He's a nuthead, and I just don't want a locker room problem. We're building something beautiful over here with Dan Quinn coming in, stepping in with the defense. We're building something beautiful. The offense, they always seem to be tight. There's some fighting going on with the there's a lot of fighting going on with the Broncos practice. So I mean, we got a unit, we got a team. You don't want somebody to come into your locker room and disrupt that. You don't want somebody to come in needing to be a LeBron James on the 11-man field. You don't want that, and that's the problem with AB. Of course, he's a great, receiver and a stud, but it shouldn't have to come with that penalty. He's worse than the worst parts of Des Bryant. Like Terrell Owens. We've dealt with some characters like that, but he's to me he's on a different level. Last time we seen AB, he was dancing off the field. I mean, come on, guys. So that's that on AB. We ain't really got to keep talking about it. As far as CD's injury go again, I did get a recent update that he is walking. He's not in a boot, nothing like that. They just being smart. And like I said, I heard he cut his foot. That's what I heard. How he cut his foot, I don't know. So Jordan Lewis. Yeah, so Jordan Lewis did get a little injury today, or a little dinky ding. I don't think it's something major. He did pull a little hammy. He has a little hamstring issue going on. So that's kind of scary because you're like, man, we don't really have cornerbacks right now that are proven to step up and take that spot. And if I would pick anyone off the top of my head, I would say Bland, and that's a cornerback to look out for. Because if Nashawn Wright or Joseph can't put up or continue to elevate in themselves, that'll be what's going to happen. You're going to see people take over their spot. You already got your solid three counter right now, and I'm cool with Brown, Lewis, and Diggs. Honestly, I'm okay with that because for once the Cowboys actually have a defense that has a front seven that can actually disrupt and disturb offense. And I can tell you. From practice, OTAs, and all the research, and just watching film study, our defense is even better than last year, in my opinion, with the front seven. Um, they're stronger, and Gallimore, and I don't know if y'all been looking up with Golston, but those two have put on a lot of weight. Shout out to Vash Lombardi. They like to say that off season peanut butter. The boys got that off season peanut butter. They didn't put on some weight. They big. So Gallimore is doing what he's supposed to do this year. But I can tell y'all this. So as far as nose guard goes, Bohanna has been getting first reps as the nose guard, first team reps. He's been getting first team reps for nose guard, and he's been doing good. If y'all did or you were able to tune in or watch the joint practice today with the Chargers, Bohanna's been running first string, and he's been doing good. He's been doing good because like our DTs kind of all got different aspects. You think about Tristan Hill, he's one of those guys who you don't expect Tristan Hill to hold a wall. You don't want him to put him in to hold up nothing. That's what your nose guards are for. People like Bohanna and John Ridgway that we got, man, from Arkansas. Those guys are there to stuff, hold up, basically make a wall, kind of pin up to offensive man and kind of just hold it and allow yourself to get in for the run stop. So the Cowboys' problem last year with our defense was our run game, and dealing with the run, and it's the middle of the field. So with that being increased and getting better, I'm happy about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing a fast, studied defense. As far as Sam Williams go, I think Dan is doing some more teaching and training with that situation. There's a lot of things that aren't coachable, but there's so much that's coachable, and honestly, no exaggeration, can be fixed in a week. You know, like when you're talking about our cornerbacks during the game, not necessarily getting beat. You know, they didn't necessarily get beat. It was just poor little things like tracking the ball in the air. You know, I've seen a lot of losing the ball in the air and stuff like that. Those things are coachable. You know, and as far as I'm looking at our O line and our defenders and our DNs, bro, we're we're on the right track. And Sam Williams is definitely gonna be a nasty guy. Sacred Power, he's gonna be a nasty guy for us. Um, but we just gotta get him more comfortable. A lot of these guys that's playing in these preseason games, this is literally their first NFL game time. This is their first NFL reps, so that comes with things, man. Not everybody's gonna get out there and be comfortable, but we're doing okay. The things to worry about, the things to really look at is oh yeah, I forgot about that. So the 2 minute drills today during the joint practices during the 2 minute drills. Excuse my language, but piss poor. I didn't like it at all. It was embarrassing. So that just didn't look too good. But as far as outside of 11 on 11, they 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 did good with 11 on 11. But yeah, 2 minute drills. That's something that you do want your team to be good on because that's the so called situations that people say your team choked. So if you can't perform under pressure, that's it's a little scary. And when you got a team full of young receivers, it kind of make you go ah. So that's just some things to keep an eye out on. But overall, with the joint practices, man, we're doing good. All I can say to you guys is, man, try to look at the preseason games as an overall view. Don't get yourself uncomfortable. Don't worry about it. Understand that it's the Cowboys and this is preseason. We don't do nothing but get real looks. Other teams we ain't want to put in certain people to get it going. Not Cowboys. We're not again 12-5 last year, 0-4 during preseason last year. So don't let it depict anything. Look at your backups. Um, so as far as my stream goes, this is the first live stream that I've done, and in my opinion, it's not the best. It's not what I would like it to be, but I am going to elevate. I'm going to get better. And the people that are here, I hope you guys continue to support, man. But everything takes time. I'm doing it by step. Uh, Another thing to look at with our offense is the trading off between Connor McGovern and Tyler Smith, our new draft Tyler Smith, which is number 73. Uh, he did good. He did pretty good in practice. I've also looked at some film footage, and I feel like our O line coach, he's a scarce. I want new O line coach, but I seen the increase in the run game. They are doing better still, especially. So still in Acorn actually, the guy we drafted from Mexico. And that's part of the international thing that the league does. So that's kind of like a free player almost in a sense. So it's just nice to see that like our free player actually is doing good. So I watched some film footage with the game. He actually outplayed Ball, Big Boy Ball, and I actually got some worries about Ball, and I'll address that in another video. But Ball's gonna have to step it up. He's too big to not get it going. Still, on the other hand, still on that tackle side, tremendous job today. That's somebody you can say 5 stars for today's joint practice. Still looking good. Uh, Matt Westglow, or however you say his name, Matt. He's somebody that's probably not going to be able to perform for us, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got cut. Injury prone, highly injury prone, injured once again. Uh, and he's one of those linemen that's not coming back now. If Tyrone did get injured during the same game, but Tyron's at practice today. Uh, Matt, you're going on 2 years now where you're doing what everybody feared, getting injured, and that's what the Cowboys O line is dealing with right now: injuries and inconclusive O line and coaching. So the thing to look at with the next game coming on this Saturday will be the O line. And keep in mind, if you haven't noticed, each preseason game so far, the first one and the last one, we've had joint practices with the teams that we're playing in preseason. So if you can watch the joint practices, watch them. because that's the time where you're going to see your starters. During the actual preseason game that's going to be on TV, they're not going to play. I'm just going to be honest, they're not going to play. So watch the joint practices if you want to see how your starters look. For example, Diggs didn't play during the Broncos game. He did okay during practice, but I'm not gonna lie. I watched during 101s. I seen Diggs get beat pretty nasty. I mean, a lot of people got beat, but like a lot of them, you don't so much care. People like Anthony Barr, the linebacker we just signed. I seen him get beat a couple times, and it looked at horrible. Like, I don't want you in cover at all. But he's not a cover linebacker. He's a blitz linebacker. He's a more on the ball linebacker. He's not an off the ball linebacker. That's kind of what we look at Parsons for. Parsons is our monster. We can put him in coverage. We can blitz him. We can leave him at linebacker. We can kind of have him sit. We can have him in the back zone sitting. So we don't really care. It doesn't matter. But we're looking okay. Defense superior. Offense again, line work, receiver problems. And we're getting a look at TJ Vasher. So that's what it is right now. We're in that debate zone with Vasher because this is pretty much his last time to shine. Zeke during the joint practices, everybody wants to know what's going on with Zeke. So I made sure I was going to let people know what's going on with Zeke. The boy looked good. I don't like to so much give Zeke his props at this time because I know that during the season, things seem to always take place with my guy, man. I don't know if I ever see him in his prime again. But what I do know is Zeke still got juice, okay? Zeke still got juice. Y'all sleeping on somebody that shouldn't be slept on. I mean, the guy was injured last year. He still made his 1,000 yards. That's all I can expect or ask for from our running back. Produce on the field. His yards per carry, it didn't go up like I wanted it to, but it was better than the year before. But we're dealing with a hurt Zeke. Then Kellen Moore is kind of on a bench line too. Everybody knows McCarthy is. I don't know how people really feel about McCarthy. Sometimes I feel like I get some of that Jason Garrett energy. Sometimes that real nonchalant, everything's all right, energy. Like what's going on, man? You getting paid by Jerry, but you got a job to do. And the penalties is something that's dangerous to me. Keep in mind during the Broncos game, the Cowboys accounted for 17 penalties. 17 penalties. And that's the same thing last year that killed us. Our O-line penalties, killing us. People jumping off sides. Just ignorant penalties, man. And sadly, it seems like a retrend with that. And every time I do my research and I'm looking at articles, reading articles, looking over what McCarthy has to say, I'm just kind of like, what the heck? Like, you're too cool. You want to be Mr. Cool Kenny with the situation. It's not okay because we're literally losing games over massive penalties. And a lot of those are not coming from our defensive side. We got picked on last year. Brown got picked on, but I go to war against anybody that has to talk about Brown because Brown had a hell of a year last year. I think one of his primest years, that was basically his prime year. And that year took place with him not even being in his prime. So that makes me go, damn, we got some great coaching going on. I love our cornerback coach. That guy, he's doing his thing. As far as I'm concerned, man, defense will be fine. Yeah, we're probably going to give up some more yardage this year with in the air passing. But my mindset is with my front seven being so disruptive, that's what makes our secondary nasty because that quarterback can get that ball off like he needs to. And then you got people like my boy Diggs, who, everybody say he gives up a lot of yards. He does. But you know what? You can give up 200 yards in a game if you gave me a pick six. I'll take that. So, we got an off-the-ball corner. That's what you consider an off-the-ball corner. On-the-ball corner is somebody who's more like Ramsey. That's an on corner. He's gonna stick to you like glue, and he's gonna contest everything. That's not Diggs. Diggs is an off-ball corner. He's trying to be in position to turn into a receiver because that's what he want to be. And that's what works for him. And you can complain all you want, but with nobody complaining with him running the league with interceptions. So everything kind of comes with something. What we ask is that he gets better. But what I ask is, remember, Diggs is still young. That's a young man. That's a young man. He's still got a lot of juice, a lot of life in him. So I'm not upset about it. I'm cool with it. On our other corners, the other side, they're looking just as great. Lewis had a damn good year last year as well. All of our corners, all of our defensive backs, our DBs, our skill players back there, all of them had interceptions. Dallas. Fun fact: Dallas was number one for turnovers, which we know are interceptions. Defensive turnovers, interceptions, and we're also number one for defensive touchdowns. So if we gave up a lot of yards to become number one in turnovers and defensive touchdowns, I'm okay with that. With a stronger core on your defense, when you got a powerful uh, core of your defensive tackles and your DNs, that right there, mix that in with off ball type of corners, that's where you get interceptions. It's just going to be disruption. Let that ball not go or exit out of the quarterback hand like it's supposed to due to pressures. There's a reason why pressures is actually a stat in the NFL. And it may not have been a sack, but it shows up on your stat that you got that many pressures, because pressures destroy our offensive game plan. It's the ending attack to disrupting a game plan of an offensive attack. If you can kind of hit that quarterback or get in the quarterback's face or always constantly get to that quarterback, you'll knock that quarterback off his game. I mean, believe it or not, once you knock them off the game, there's going to be mental mistakes that take place. And that's why your strongest players are mentally found. You know what I'm saying? They're mentally great, and then they match the physicals all to go around it. So we can keep our front seven being crazy disruptive like that. We're going to be great. Then on top of it, you got your linebacker core that's, in my opinion, could be like way better, and it's going to be. Uh, but they're amazing to me. Vandy, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna need to see more out of him this year because I love the Wolf, man. Leighton Van Der Esch, that's my boy, man. That's my dog. But he's gonna have to do a little bit more. And I will give him kudos because even though we had a horrible game in our playoff game with San, Leighton Van Der Esch did have a good game, and so I do give him a salute about that. But we need more of our stud linebackers out there. We got a lot of Heiberg players. Like I keep telling you, the safeties, I've saved them for last for this purpose of reason, is to explain we have we have a great safety back there. Like we have a safety core that is out of this war to me. And then how we got these guys, their names, where they come from, their stories. These are things that make them even more spectacular to me. Jaron Curse. This is a dog. This is a big guy. I think Jaron's like 6'4". I'm gonna have to go look up his stats. But I think he's like he's 6'4". He moves and covers better than you can really ask for. And then you got a rotational pieces back there. You got Hooker, who honestly we didn't know if Hooker was even going to play football again. Remember that. Keep that in mind. We didn't even know if he was going to be able to ever step on the field again with his injury. Stud. Then you got Donovan Wilson. And this is somebody that people were just kind of like, we want to see him. But that was somebody who dealt with a little injury too. And we were just like kind of eager to see him, but it kind of like faded in the background. Then bam, he's back. Then whoa, dude come in and just like basically our number one hitter. That's the guy we looking at to lay the wood. So our safety core, man, there's no questions there. But what I can look at and say is during preseason, keep an eye out on your backup safety. Now, I think his name's Cal Coyle. I'm not really overzealous about him, man. But I got good hopes for him, But Marquise Bell is somebody. No, I don't want to say it, but I'm a Cowboy, and I know how my Cowboys are, and I know how Jerry is, and I know how Stephen Jones is. Marquise Bell is one of those cats who will basically push out one of our guys that's back there now, and Cowboys won't necessarily be happy about it when it happens. He's one of those guys that could push out Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, or Jaron Curse, depending on an injury or a shaky year. You'll be that year that's time for a contract, but they had a little injury, and we all kind of like, pay him. You know how we be. Pay him. Come on, Jerry, pay him. You know how he's doing for us. And Jerry don't pay him shit. I mean, Jerry don't pay him nothing, excuse me. And so it's kind of like Marquise Bell is that guy, because Marquise Bell right now is a rookie, is looking dangerous right now. Practices, joint practices, He looked good in OTAs before we went to Oxnard in California to start having our practices. And then the boy came in and during the Broncos game looked amazing, looked beautiful, man. And so, those are things to look at. And when I talk about Vanderford, that's, Leighton Vandy, that's kind of how I feel too. Because you got to understand, our incoming linebacker core is a full LSU roster, basically. You got Clark that's going to come next year, and that's LSU. That's an LSU body. You got Jabril Cox that we're looking forward to seeing if he can go back to being him. Uh, those are LSU boys. Then you got that mixing in with your guy Parsons. That's gonna be nice. I have high hopes for Anthony Barr, but we'll see. But that's pretty much all I got right now for an update and what's going on or what happened, what took place today with the joint practices and the different things, the one-on-ones, the 11-11. It was pretty no fights. No, it wasn't like the Broncos joint practice. There's a lot of fighting and crap going on there. It was a pretty smooth practice. It felt like it was a true joint practice. It felt like both coaches and teams actually took advantage of the joint practice and didn't go out there extra. So you got to see a lot. You've seen a lot of good and bad on both sides. So don't feel like today they went out there and just got skunked by the Chargers today. They didn't. It was a good back and forth, lovely practice to me because I got to see a lot. That's been my time, guys. The Coleman Cowboy. Like I said, man, this is the first live stream. I'm thankful for what I got. The people who tuned in, I appreciate you guys. It will get better. I will be better. I appreciate you guys and keep holding me down. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll post some video and I'll probably go live maybe Friday. I think Friday will be probably another good day to go live. Right before we have Saturday kickoff with the next preseason game. And obviously, maybe Saturday night late, I'll get a video up, but then I'll return Sunday and go live again. Getting my StreamYard set up so that I can have people call in or invite people into the streams that want to be a part of it. I definitely would love that. I need that. That will be set up the next time I try to go live, at least after the next preseason game. Like I said, I appreciate you guys coming through. The Coleman Cowboy.